Attention viewers, this is an interdimensional state of emergency. Some of the most wanted criminals in the multiverse have recently escaped captivity and we need your help to catch them. You can help by wearing this shirt showcasing these dastardly forces of evil, available only on Teespring, to spread the word to other citizens. The artist rendering was done by Kitsune Zakuro. Subscribe to her channel below for more information. We need these villains captured by July 25th so you can get this shirt until then. Hurry! Hurry! Hurry!
What is going on, guys? This is Mike Williams from Cartoon Universe, and today I'm joined by Haley. We want to talk about my throat. We want to talk about a question that is on everyone's mind ever since the insane, ridiculous, mind-blowing season 3 premiere of Star vs. Forces of Evil: Battle for Mewni, and that is, of course, is Toffee actually dead? So as you saw, obviously there's spoilers, so if you didn't see Battle for Mewni, don't know why you're here, but as you saw, Star completely disintegrated, obliterated this man into, reduced him into a skeleton and melting flesh, because this is a kid's show.
Beautiful. Yeah. It was amazing.
So,
Disney.
Yeah, Disney. Very, very Disney. Very happy. And that was absolutely insane. I don't think anyone saw that coming. It was completely out of nowhere. Toffee was extremely confident, as he usually is, that entire exchange between him and Moon. And for him to just get completely smoked and destroyed in such a gruesome and grandiose and quick manner was pretty insane. So what do you think? Do you think Toffee is completely dead? Do you think he can regenerate? Do you think there's some other way he could come back since he is technically quote-unquote immortal? Or do you think Star completely used her magic to destroy this dude?
Well, like you said, Star destroyed Toffee in a grandiose way that was like within like 1 second, like just a couple seconds, and boom, he's gone forever. Like, okay, that's really how it went down. Like, okay, that was awesome to see, but it's like, wow, all that buildup for just one big blast, I guess, was kind of questionable to some people. Like, we've known him for so long, and it's like he didn't really have much of a fight back, I guess, which is kind of weird to some people.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm still kind of on the fence about how I feel about that. I feel like I really kind of love it, though, in a sense, because it was just so immediate and crazy and over the top for such a well put together villain. But yeah, so the question is, if he's actually dead, I'm not sure, because we do get a hint that he is, because Eclipsa, of course, made a deal with Moon that once her enemy is defeated, once her enemy is dead, that she will be reborn and have her freedom. And we saw at the end where Moon went to check on her, there was nothing there, but after she turned away, there was a little crack. So this crack could signify that maybe Toffee isn't fully dead, but he's actually just kind of dead, or sort of in a dead-esque state, or maybe Eclipse's crystal's only cracking, and she'll be completely free later on. But I don't think that's the case for a couple reasons. One, it just seems like Toffee was completely destroyed from a writing standpoint, but also just we saw a Disney XD posted a little promo for the rest of season 3, which isn't going to be airing until November, about Eclipsa returning. So it seems like we're going to be pretty much going right back into it with Eclipsa, and Eclipsa is kind of being set up as the new villain. So what do you think Toffee is fully dead, or do you think he's only kind of dead?
Well, like you said, Eclipse's spell did say that once Toffee was destroyed, he'd be, she would reappear or like break out of the crystal. And just a little caveat that I want to mention, that she didn't say it had to be her spell. So although Queen Moon has all this, is going to seem that like she's going to have side effects from all this, which sucks for her. And she didn't even do the final blow to Toffee. Yeah. So she's going to have to live with that. And then Eclipse is going to be free because, her contract was like not specific enough, unfortunately. It was good for her, but it was vague on that part. But still, it says once Toffee is dead, she goes free. So that's the point where I'm like, maybe he is gone for good because of what the spells, the conditions of the spell to free Eclipsa.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say considering the way he died. It's very confusing. Maybe he did die and he's still going to regenerate. I don't know how he's going to regenerate with that giant pillar on him, but I'm sure they'll find a way. I'm sure they'll have to remove it or whatever and clean up his remains. But I feel like it's kind of a tough call because it does seem like they're building Eclipsa to be the new villain. But at the same time, it seems like we didn't fully get everything we needed from Toffee. We didn't really learn, like, why did Toffee know the Whispering Spell? Why was he so knowledgeable? Why is there so much Marco foreshadowing with Toffee for him to just get obliterated in a second? That seems pretty crazy. So I feel like if he is going to come back, he's not going to come back till like way later in the season, like the end of the season, or maybe even season 4. But it is possible that with the way these monsters work is that they can die, quote unquote, technically, but they can still regenerate and kind of come back to life, as we're sort of kind of seeing with Rastakor, because all of his body, like any other normal human or other being, would have definitely died by what Rastakor is currently going through. It's only his arm that's left. So if he's able to regenerate just from his arm, Toffee might be able to regenerate. It's just that it's going to take him a very long time because all of his skin and organs have been completely melted, and he just has a little bit of skin left on the top, and then everything's like a skeleton, his eyes popping out. Oh my god, what is this show? Now his bones are crushed by the pillar. So yeah. I think it is possible that he is technically dead, quote unquote, but he has to regenerate like all of his cells and whatnot, sort of like Dragon Ball Z Cell and Majin Buu and stuff. Like he is, yeah, you don't know. He is dead, so maybe this will bring Eclipsa back to life, but he can come back to life himself since he is quote unquote immortal. And it seemed as though Eclipsa's spell was the only way to truly get rid of him. So I just don't see Toffee, his arc being gone, unless we do get the rest of his arc through a flashback or something along those lines.
Yeah. So my question is, what do you think the purpose of him getting his finger back, if like right after that he was obliterated and, you know, apparently dead? Do you think there's any purpose to that? Because maybe he's able to regenerate because he's full again. Technically, he was before he was, you know, blasted.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. He is only able to get his full body back once he had the finger again. So, like, I don't think he could have taken over Ludo's body, which that was another crazy sequence right there when his bones and stuff started going over Ludo. That was insane. I don't think he would have been able to do that unless he had his entire body. So he needed the finger. That was his missing piece, and then he could finally come fully back together. Whether or not he is able to only regenerate with his full body, I think remains to be seen. And if that is the case, then yeah, it is very possible that, well, then does that mean he can regenerate or he can't regenerate? That's very confusing. So I don't know. I think it's because the finger was obliterated by I keep using the word obliterated, by the darkest spell specifically, which means it was permanent, that he needed that finger back in order to get his regeneration powers back, and that's why he was that's part of the reason why he was so afraid, other than the fact that Moon does have a spell that can permanently damage him for good, so that's why he kind of backed off. So I think it is possible that Toffee can only regenerate if he has his full body intact and nothing permanently damaged. And we don't know what Star's magic was. We don't know what it was she did, really. She clearly seemed to have dipped down and reached her like ultimate form, so to speak, but we don't know what that means. We don't know what that entails. We don't know the rules of that yet. So that's a whole nother video for another day, I think, but I don't know if any of the damage done to Toffee is necessarily going to be permanent.
Yeah, and my big thing also was, we, like you mentioned before, we don't know too much about Toffee. You know, we learned a little bit that, you know, he was the general of, you know, the monsters of that army, but that was pretty much it. Like, where was his big backstory? I was expecting, like, you know, so if this is the last we see of him, then apparently his big, you know, thing against Mewmins was that, you know, his finger got blasted off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which we kind of
by
already
Moon.
knew.
I thought it was gonna go way back, like, because, you know, he was immortal. So if that was like the first encounter he had with them, because obviously Moon didn't know who he was, then you know, it's kind of, oh, okay. But, you know, I'm really hoping he isn't gone forever, or at the very least we get flashbacks some other form, some way.
Yeah, I think we kind of have to, because Star is a very good show, and they're very Everything's very well written and put together, so I don't think that's something they would just leave us with. So I think we will, at some point, in some fashion, whether through a flashback or Toffee actually explaining himself coming back, we will get more information on Toffee, why he seems to be so familiar with the butterfly family, all that good stuff. I feel like Moon would have heard about him if he was that popular with the butterfly family. Maybe he was only well known years and years ago, because we don't know how old Toffee is. I don't think that was mentioned in the Star Marco's Guide to Mastering Every Dimension book. I don't think they mentioned his age. So he could be however old. It could tie back into Eclipsa somehow, since she was married to a monster, and like a lot of people speculated like maybe Toffee is Eclipsa's son or something like that. Like that would all add up. So it is possible that there is a tie in there, and that's why we're getting Eclipsa as the villain now, because Toffee does actually have a direct connection to Eclipsa, but we'll just have to wait and see. Do you have any final thoughts about Toffee being dead or not dead, or somewhere in the middle?
Well, if he is dead, then, and if he has a connection to Eclipsa, he might have just been kind of like a pawn for her at the end of the day.
Which is crazy, because he seemed to be doing all the chess piece moving himself.
Yeah. Exactly. So somebody's playing him, that he was playing people. It was a bunch of layers. So if that's the case, then I guess that is exciting. And through Eclipsa, we can learn a lot more about Toffee, which would be great, even if he doesn't come back. But, personally, I really do hope he comes back, because I love him so much. He was like the first, when we first met Toffee, that was kind of when I was like, okay, this show is actually pretty good. And then it wasn't until like the season 1 finale that I was like, okay, this is an amazing show, I can just tell. So Toffee was kind of the turning point for me. So to see him gone, it's kind of sad now. Yeah,
he's one of my all-time favorite villains. I think he's just so menacing, but he doesn't even try to be. He's just like chilling. So yeah, I'm gonna miss Toffee if he doesn't come back. I do hope he comes back in some way, shape, or form, but we'll just have to wait and see. But what do you guys think? Do you think Toffee is actually dead and gone for good? He's not coming back? No way. Or do you think he could potentially come back, regenerate, or maybe there's some other way he could be reborn? And if he is dead, do you think we'll get some type of flashback explaining all of his backstory? Because I don't think that's something they could just leave. Let us know in the comments down below. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe for more Star vs. the Forces of Evil. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, because there's a lot of confusing things that happen in Battlefield Mewni that we're not going to get any explanations for until November. So be sure to subscribe so you can keep up with all the latest theories, and hit that notification bell so you know when we're doing that thing. And like this video to bring Toffee back. If you like this video, Toffee will return.
There's a better chance that he'll return.
Yes, 100%, because we have that power. We all work at Disney now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Mike Williams, joined by Haley, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.